Saturday morning, it's bank holiday, which means we're closed, no one else is in, so a little opportunity for me to tell you what's going on with this. Now, in the last episode, we spoke to you guys and asked you to tell us what you wanted us to do with the bug. Some of you said keep it stock, but a large proportion of you said give it the treatment. So we are going to give it the treatment. We've got some support this episode from CSP Parts in Germany, our good friends over there, Gunther and Thomas. We have got Heritage Parts Centre back on board. They're going to chuck us a heavily discounted package of parts for it. And finally, we've got Evaresto, who are going to supply us one of their amazing 4-inch narrowed front beams. We've got some really cool wheels and tyres tucked away from it, probably a Camberg shifter. So the plan is short week next week, bank holiday Monday. So from Tuesday to Friday, we're going to give this, get it in the workshop, give it its own dedicated ramp, strip it to bits, document everything, show you guys what we're doing, and at the end of the week, we'll be driving it out, fully remodeled, revamped, a good old makeover takeover episode. So sit back, enjoy the ride, and let's make it happen.
Who did this?
That was Mark Triple Espresso. So I think he started. One of his things is getting Starbucks cups.
Cool,
and
isn't it?
He gets paints Porsche pictures on them or drawers. So that's my. You know what car that is, don't you?
Yeah.
My lovely little 924.
Look at
So
that.
he's done a whole host of them, and he was kind enough to give it to me.
Perhaps we can do my little kit car.
Yeah, probably good. Right, so
What's happening then?
Porsche hunting in Kent today.
Yeah.
It's about 2 hours away. What do we need? Do you need fuel in your van?
I need fuel, check trailers, straps, blah de blah, just usual stuff really. But yeah,
You can put a
definitely
strap
need
on.
fuel. That's
Yeah.
for another video.
Yeah, all right. And never gets old, that one. So we just arrived in Kent. This is Lee, the seller. Let's go and see what he's got. It's actually more complete than I was expecting. Is that complete as well, for all intents and purposes?
Sort of, but yeah, some bits down there.
Okay,
Yeah,
then
pretty
that's
much
good.
complete.
That's good. Have a look. Come on, James.
So if you're wondering, yes, you can fit a Porsche 914 in the back of a Crafter van. That about wraps things up here this morning. 3 cars, 2 trailers, 1 big van. Now, Paul's done his money's worth out of me today. Let's get home. Time for a pint of pint.
Friday afternoon, I would say home time, but I'm off to deepest, darkest Norfolk to pick up quite a famous car. And Jim will hate me for saying this, but I'm going to pick up the ex-Ivan McCutcheon 67 cowlook car, one of the first true UK cowlookers, which was built back in the early 90s. Now carefully owned and maintained by Jim Dix. He's coming in for a bit of a Type 2 detective's tickle. So when we get there, Jim's promised me fish and chips. So as he lives quite close to the seaside, hopefully it'll be quite nice. But yeah, not a bad way to spend an evening, really. Jim's served us the most amazing plate of fish and chips, so thank you very much for that, Jim. So the car is here. We have decided it's probably for the best it comes back with us. Jim and Sam are off to EBI in it in about 4 or 5 weeks time, and we're going to give it a quick health check before it goes, sort out the bogus brakes. God knows what's happening with there, but we'll have a look. And Jim, who's here,
Hello.
is going to show us his little man cave. Really cool.
Yeah, this is a 59. It was a 60 model. It's one of the first non-low light Ghias that was ever made. That was made in August of 59. That was originally midnight blue according to the certificate, but it was sold in Germany, but it was built to American specification. So we're guessing
Serviceman.
probably somebody in the US Air Force or something.
Exactly.
And then took it home. But that's a black plated car. So when it went back to America, which we don't know when that was, it was it stayed there its whole life. So
Super clean.
yeah, Andy and Spike's Vintage Restoration just do an awesome job.
We do a lot with Spikes, and the nice thing is you never ever have to check it over on when it comes back, because it's just always done to one standard, and that's perfection.
We brought it in from California, and Robert VW Kid helped find it, and that came in on the boat, and that was delivered to Andy's, and that was taken apart the next day, and that was all put together for Volksworld, and I've driven it to Spa, driven it all over. I've done 4,000 miles since that was built 18 months ago.
Good.
To a show standard.
It's fantastic. Good. You got a little Hot Wheels collection.
Yeah, I don't collect Hot Wheels. If I go in a shop and they've got one, I just buy it, but I don't go out of my way to collect them.
Oh look, you've got the Type 2 Detectives Hot Wheels
just
there.
bought that in a shop, Paul, believe
Did
it or
you?
not. And there's the red Karmann Ghia TC that you did with me, Paul, that on the photograph.
Oh yeah. It's a car we built for Jim. Long time. Well, we worked on for Jim. I wouldn't say we built it, but we did a little collab on it.
Yeah.
So this is just looking at this Hot Wheels, this isn't the treasure hunt issue. So when I come back, I'll bring you one.
Oh.
That's really cool. Excellent. Superb. Let's have a quick look around Sam's car, otherwise he's going to feel left out, isn't he?
It's amazing. He just jumps in and he drives it off to different parts. We've been told that they're Dutch postal bags.
Oh, really?
So
they on it when you got it?
yeah, absolutely. So we think they're quite cool. So,
Sits nice, doesn't it?
yeah, it does. He made a nice job of it. He enjoys tinkering with them far more than I do.
That's good. Really nice. Morning, James.
Morning, Paul.
How you doodling?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Thanks for unloading.
No worries, man.
Do you know anything about that car?
I don't. What is it? Looks cool.
It's a bit of a leg end.
Is it? It looks
Yeah.
fast.
It was. Open the engine lid. Nice, isn't it?
Oh wow.
48 IDAs.
Nice.
So this was like one of the first traditional cow-look cars built in this country.
Right.
I say traditional, not like your 80s UK cow-look. This was like the first that harked back to the age of original BRMs and how they did them in mid-70s in California.
Very nice.
Pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks really good.
So whilst James is unloading, we'll have a quick whistle top workshop tour. Coming a bit of a regular thing, this. See what we got. Just flip the old camera around. So, been getting some miles on this week. With a shakedown. We'll show a little bit more of that later in the episode. Super nice. Super low mileage. It's done about 40,000 kilometres from new. A few customers' vehicles getting picked up this morning. It's been in for some electrical work. regular customer Tim. Jane's coming to pick up her bay, which we've been storing over winter. Cactuses are looking good. So we've now got all of the parts arrived from Heritage Parts Centre. So this week, hopefully, we're going to start assembling the pan for the buggy. It's become a bit of a buggy assembly point rather than the showroom, but so rammed at the moment. Dom's bike, which is doubling as a coat rack at the moment. So Dom's bike still available, £4,000. Matt started to do the wiring loom for the Outlaw 914. The rally gear due to go on Mark's ramp on Monday. We sold the 914 yesterday, and the new owner is going to take it to an extreme new level. So the rally gear I'll show you. I don't think I showed you last time, so I'll show you the interior. Proper racing Recaros, which we retrimmed in quite a modern Porsche houndstooth. And then Mario's van, which we'll have a proper walk around that later on in the episode. And then again the brown Cabriolet, which we showed you last time, which we're going to give a bit of a makeover to. Again, we'll show you that later in the episode with a bit of luck. Through the pink tunnel. So Simon's Speedster is all ready to go, just having a final clean up and the battery charge. Good morning, Mark.
Morning.
What are you up to today?
I'm fitting some spindles to the front of this split screen.
Recon drop spindles?
No, not drop spindles,
Stock.
stock height ones.
What else you been doing?
Fit some stickers on that split screen there.
Good.
Bike show, I believe.
Yeah, it's going off to a cycling event tomorrow, so loading that one out. To some friends of ours at TCC. As you can see, it's got our Billstones on it. Gearbox here getting built up for one of the Bahas we're doing. Show a little bit more of that in another episode. Wesley's Westphalia hasn't had an MOT for a few years because Wesley's been away out the country, so we're giving it a little bit of a recommissioning job. Ball joints, idler pin, wheel bearings, brake fluid flush, new wheel cylinders, etc, etc. So back through here, fuel coming out of it so we can deal with the fuel hoses to bio spec. Over here we've got Carl's 23 window, which, as Mark said, is getting loaned to TCC. Look them up online, they do really cool cycling gear for road cyclists. And that's going into an event tomorrow. They used to borrow the Camberg van, but obviously now that's gone. We're loaning them this to have on their stand as a bit of a hospitality unit. Porsche bus, get some final tweaks. Sold that to the good guys at Just Campers. They're going to ship it over to the States, do a bit of a coast-to-coast tour. I think New York to Los Angeles. Might be the other way around, but that'd be the way I would do it. Driving into the sun rather than away from it. And then it's Paul's buggy, which we built for him last year. Come back for a service and a couple of other little bits and bobs. Just done a headliner in Sue's bus. She's going to have a VanWorks interior fitted very shortly. Set some wheels, come back from being chemically stripped. These ones, those ones, genuine 14s, which we may sell or we may put on a project, who knows. But I think they're 6s and 7s are going on Ian's split bus. Another view of the buggy. So it's Saturday, so it's quite quiet in here. Over here, we've got a 2.4 Porsche cooled 4-cylinder engine. It's going in a 914. Watch this space. And here's Sam. Morning, Sam.
Morning, how are you?
I'm all right. Say hello to your Facebook viewers.
Hello Facebook, how are we all?
So what are you up to?
I am currently just changing out the servo,
Uh-huh.
new replacement on it. Just that, and then this van should be ready to go.
Good
Looking good.
stuff. Good stuff. Cool. Thank you. So this one here, we've done a mechanical overhaul, repainted all the engine bay, and over here, just giving the tinware a quick spruce up. Bit of a repaint or a powder coat I think we did on this. So that'll be going back in the van next week. Another view of the Porsche bus. So yeah, if you're in America, it'll be coming your way rather soon. We go to some events over there, no doubt. Might even fly over to meet them. And that is our Whistle Top Workshop tour.
Jab it back up again.
Special delivery! Come over now. Hey Chris, things here. So we finally got Jim's car, some ramp space, got onto Jared's ramp. Jared did a little bit of a health check on it. It's pretty good, needs a little bit of housekeeping. So the steering coupling, which are quite an important part of the car, slightly cracked. So we always change those for good quality replacement. Notice Jared stripped the top arms off. There was a little bit of play in the top arms, which generally is a little bit of a problem we have with a lot of narrowed beams. The inner bushes wander inboard and lose contact with the inner edge of the bearing face of the inner arm. So we make our own bespoke bushes to go inside out of Delrin. We ream them to suit the arm, and then we lock them in place with a little lock nut, which stops that problem from happening. Probably do the same on the bottom arms as well, because that's probably not going to be long behind that. Brake wise, we found that the master cylinder that Jim had tried to fit was faulty, so we're going to fit a genuine ATE master cylinder. We're going to reinstate his line lock. We've got a nice little new Hurst line lock button to go on the gear lever. On the rear end, pop the drums off, which is also always part of the health check. Wheel cylinders had started to leak by the plungers, so we put some new, we use Porsche 924 style wheel cylinders on the back, which is slightly bigger bore. New shoes, we did some hub seals. Couple of axle boot leaks, so we put some new axle boots on it. The deep sump is leaking between the deep sump and the case, so that will come off. We'll reseal all of that. Just give it a final sort of checking over, bit of a clean up. Do a full engine service, new plugs, valve adjustments. Dial all the carbs in, and it should, within a few days, be ready to deliver back to Jim for his pilgrimage to EBI. So lovely car to work on. Quite nostalgic about this car, because I knew this car back in the day when Ivan originally had it. We then bought it off of Ivan, sold it to Jim about 3 years ago. Jim's had a nice bit of use out of it, but like with everything, you know, bit of housekeeping every once in a while. Keep on top of things. But yeah, looking forward to giving it a road test, this one. Geraldine,
Yes, chap.
what are you up to?
Fuel lines, chap.
Lovely job, chap. What's your favourite tool, Mark? Don't be rude. So to explain, basically what's happening is before we start pulling things to bits and adjusting stuff, we are doing some cooling measurements. So we're isolating the front by getting the front dead level on some axle stands and then measuring the rear. We've found that the rear is, with the front isolated, is 2 centimetres lower one side than the other. So we're now going to isolate the rear by getting the rear on some axle stands, let the front down, and hopefully the front will be dead level, which means that we haven't got a broken leaf or anything in the beam. And if we know it is purely the reaction of the rear suspension that's throwing the front out, then we can fine tune it on the splines when we put the new spring plates on. We've got a secret formula, and we'll be able to get it sitting dead level. Because if something's 20 mil out when it's that high off the ground, it's not going to notice, but when we lower it and it's that high off the ground and it's 20 mil out, it makes a massive issue. So get it right first time round, make the measurements now, save time later on.
Plenty of room on this. We're worried about how close it get the spring plate, but seems to be we've got plenty of room to work with. Great news. Which means we're not going to need spaces. Brilliant.
So a little catch up on the 914, as you saw earlier. Matt had started putting the panels on. Now we're pretty much panelled up. Was dry built for the repaint stage, so we're now going to move it into our build up area and start to rip off all the suspension, get ready for our elephant racing stuff to appear and start making the thing look purposeful in the old stance department. Fill them arches out. Right, so little buzz around the village in our latest stock acquisition, 1965 ex-German fire service panel van. It's been reworked, shall we say. Our latest sales vehicle. So we always like to do a little walk around on our YouTube episodes. This episode will be no different. 1965 ex-German fire service panel van. Only 41,108 kilometres as we speak. Narrow beam on drop spindles, rack and pinion steering, CSP discs, dual circuit, servo assisted, all the whistles and bells on the front. On the back end, reduction boxes have been removed in favour for a swing axle conversion, adjustable spring plates. Engine wise is 2165 on 48 Delautos for a nice change. Not the fastest engine in the world, built more for sort of motorway cruising speeds and reliability, but certainly will pull the skin off of a rice pudding if you want it to. Inside, really nice, really nice dashboard, absolutely amazing. You can tell it's only done 41,108 kilometres. Really nicely trimmed, very nice headliner, little bit of period faded out sign writing, which is good. Not sure how legal the blue flashing light is, but we haven't pulled anyone over with it yet, so I think we'll be okay. In the back, hopefully we won't find James asleep this time like we did in a previous episode. So, bit of a parts hauler, as you can see. However, can be used for camping, rock and roll bed, buddy seat. Check out the headliner, it's really nice. Original hinge covers in the back, all lined and insulated. Porsche space savers don't come with it because they won't fit. And then we'll have a little wander round. Really nice bit of period sign writing. Fire service only door stays, Looks really good. Don't know what this is. If anyone wants to comment on what any of our German friends want to comment and tell us what that is, I should imagine it's part of the machinery that was supplied and fitted inside the vehicle when it was new. Round the back, nice muffler. As we said earlier, 2165 flame thrower ignition system, 48 Webers, electric fuel pump, alternator. As I say, not built for drag racing, but a really nice driving van. Cruises all day long at 70, 75. Doesn't get hot. What more can you ask for from a 1965 split screen panel van? Absolutely amazing.
Just fitted the 1-inch kicked lowered spring plates. Just going to let it down and see how it sits.
We come over here. Mr. Fells is building up the drop spindles, new kingpins, so it won't be long before we put them on the car, get it rolling once and for all. So Robin here has been busy building up the one of our latest Baja projects. So another Heritage Land Rover colour. She's just been doing the wing beading today. I think we showed you in an earlier video, Lloyd at Deluxe made a really cool metal bonnet, metal apron to go in, wiring looms being sorted at the moment. We've got all the original door hardware back in. I say original because this vehicle's only done 500 miles from new, so probably the world's lowest mileage Baja built ever, unless you went and bought one in the dealership in the 70s and did it. Don't know if anyone ever did that, very much doubt it. So yeah, going together really nicely. Matt's over the other side building up the floor pan. We're going reduction boxes on this one, which is really cool, to give it lift and also, excuse me, shut the door, improve its off-road capabilities. If we come around the back, again, similar story, all the wing beading's gone on today, new side trim. Window stickers will come out, subject to client's approval. Really nice in there. So paintwork wise, was handled by our good friend Andy at Spike's Vintage Restos. Really happy with that. I think the job tomorrow is to get the side runners on, last few bits of sort of body stuff before it goes back on the pan in the next few days. So we'll leave Robin to it now. Thank you, Robin. We'll leave him to it for now and we'll pop back and see the progress in a day or so. So the final day, we're pretty much there. Let's give you a real quick walk around just to recap what we've done. So on the rear, we've got our 1-inch kick drop spring plates, which is slightly longer than the standard spring plate, so it allows us to get the tracking bang onto where it needs to be. Problem you often have when you just lower it on standard spring plates. We've got our own T2D V1 Bilsteins on the back. We did braided brake lines, we did new shoes, new cylinders on the back. Hub seals were good. On the front, first thing that becomes apparent, or two things really. One is how much caster we've got on the beam. We've added the huge caster shims on the front. We've used a very, very light sympathetic shock absorber on the front because there's not much weight on the front of a Beetle. We used the CSP zero offset discs. The wheels, although we've got a 4-inch beam, the wheels we've chosen have a tiny ET, which means they stick out quite a lot. So we may change those in the future. We're not sure yet, but we'll see how we go with the, I think they're called BTRs. Don't quote me on that. So yeah, we did the dual circuit master cylinder conversion. We used some rubber hoses on the front, not the braided ones. We want to keep the front brakes a little bit less aggressive than the rears. We're running quite a thin tyre, little trick of the trade there. We'll get it on the ground in a minute. Hopefully all of our calculations are now correct, and when we bring it onto the ground it should sit exactly where we want it to sit. Sam's going to buzz the wheels on in a second. We're going to get it down, throw the tracking gauges on it, set the tracking, fit the tank, and then off down the road for our legendary T2D road test.
So just changed the fuel tank union with a new Gauls filter in the bottom of it and some biospec fuel line. It's just safer to use with all the fuel that they're putting in, all the ethanol they're putting in fuel nowadays. And we're going to put a new fuel filter on it as well.
Test drive on Jim's before he picks it up. No doubt he'll be at the workshop waiting for it when we get home. But yeah, it's really good. Brakes feel a lot better. Suspension seems and steering seemed a lot more positive since we sorted out the issues with the front beam. We fixed the line lock. Promised Jim not to properly test that one out, but yeah, it feels really good. Engine's nice and smooth. Jared's given the carbs a little tweak. Feels really good, really nice. Got bags and bags of torque, sort of doing about 25 in third gear. second. Let down a little bit of room. Comes with the territory. We have to give it one little, shall we say, power run just to make sure it's smooth under all circumstances. But yeah, it was nicely warmed up. Everything is now doing what it should do. It's very responsive, cruises nicely at 65 miles an hour. I think we can safely say it's officially ready for European bugging. So Jim's here. 2 weeks to EBI, I think, 2 or 3 weeks.
2 weeks to bag Camberg, then a week drive and 2 EBI.
Good. So we health checked it. We obviously gave you the report. You ticked all the boxes. We've fixed it. It's all serviced. Brakes are sorted. Some brand new calipers, ATE master cylinder, new steering coupling. The line lock now works. I'll give you a quick lesson in how to use that in a minute.
Okay.
Maybe do that off camera.
Yeah.
And yeah, all good. When I came to yours, you had one of our Hot Wheels.
I did.
This is, as promised, the collector's edition.
Nice.
Edition. They call them the treasure hunt. It's got the Magnus Walker wheels on it, which is really cool. So yeah.
Lovely.
without
Thank you very much.
confidence. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Paul.
Bon voyage.
Well,
Yet another makeover takeover road test. Always a little bit of a daunting experience, potentially. First time you drive your car after a significant amount of work, but it seems okay. We'll bed the brakes in a little bit, readjust those. Steering wheel straightening needs a little bit of fine tuning. It's definitely low enough. Yeah, generally speaking, feels pretty good. Not too bumpy. We'll have that one for the bloopers. It's pretty low. Forgot how little ground clearance you have on Super Slam stuff, but yeah, really happy. Brakes need a little bit of fine tuning. We'll bed them in a bit more, adjust the rear brakes. Steering wheels need straightening up a little bit. And apart from that, it's pretty good, to be honest with you. Quite like it. Pretty good. Enjoyed that. It's very low though. So that's all good. It's probably like a cat-sized measurement too low, so we'll just fine-tune it up a little bit. Just recheck the tracking once everything beds in. A little bit of fine-tuning on the rear brakes, as I said. Straighten the steering wheel up. We're ready for Classics of the Clubhouse. Let's go. So here we are, the end of another episode. First of all, I'd like to thank the team for all the efforts they've put into the 62. It's been a really fun little task, and we've really enjoyed sort of going back to our roots, building a true slammed resto-cal bug. A few little teething problems to sort out on it, but generally speaking, we're very happy. It'd be ready for us to take to Classics of the Clubhouse next weekend. If you're interested in this or the red Firebus, give us a shout. We always love to sell stuff off the back of our YouTube episodes. Hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe, comment below. We will see you next time. Thank you very much.